Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to reflect on a concept that often escapes our understanding the purpose behind isolation. We all experience moments of solitude, whether willingly or thrust upon us by circumstances beyond our control. It's in these quiet times that we may feel abandoned, lost, or disconnected. But I urge you to shift your perspective and recognize that, in fact, God always has a purpose in your isolation. Isolation can initially feel daunting. It can be a time when the world outside seems bustling with life, while we remain in silence. But what if I told you that this silence is not merely empty? It is filled with the potential for profound growth and transformation. In moments of solitude, we can hear the whispers of our inner self more clearly, guiding us toward our true purpose. Think of isolation as a sacred space, an opportunity to deepen your spiritual connection. When the noise of the world fades away, we have the chance to listen to our thoughts, our dreams, and the divine guidance that is always present. It is in this sacred solitude that we often find clarity about our life's direction, our goals, and our heart's deepest desires. But why might God lead us into such seasons of isolation? Often it is during these times that we are being prepared for something greater. Imagine a seed buried deep in the ground. It may seem like nothing is happening on the surface, but underneath, it is preparing for the right moment to break through. Your isolation may be a time of preparation, a time when God is equipping you with the strength, wisdom, and resilience necessary for the next chapter of your life. During these challenging periods, we develop resilience and self-sufficiency. Just as a muscle grows stronger through resistance, our spirits can be fortified through the challenges of isolation. We learn to rely on ourselves, to cultivate our strengths, and to stand firm in our faith. These lessons are invaluable when we eventually re-enter the world, better equipped to face life's trials. Let us not forget that our periods of isolation can also enhance our ability to connect with others. When we take the time to understand ourselves, we become more compassionate and understanding toward those around us. We learn the importance of community and support, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections once we emerge from our solitude. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you find yourself in a season of isolation, remember that it is not a punishment, but rather a divine invitation. Embrace this time as a period of reflection, growth, and preparation. Trust that God has a purpose for you, even in your solitude. Lean into the quiet, and you may just find the strength and clarity you never knew you needed. Thank you. Isolation can often feel like an unwanted companion, a state we find ourselves in during difficult times. Whether it's due to personal challenges, health issues, or the demands of life, moments of solitude can be daunting. Yet, rather than viewing isolation solely through the lens of loneliness and despair, we can shift our perspective to understand it as a powerful opportunity for reflection, growth, and self-discovery. To begin with, isolation offers a rare chance to step back from the chaos of everyday life. In our fast-paced world, we are bombarded with distractions, social media, work obligations, and the constant demands of family and friends. These distractions often drown out our inner voice and cloud our judgment. In isolation, however, the external noise diminishes, allowing us to focus inward. This inward journey can lead to profound insights about ourselves, our desires, fears, and dreams. When stripped of external validation and influence, we can explore who we truly are at our core. Isolation serves as a fertile ground for self-reflection. This process involves asking ourselves hard questions. What do I want from life? What are my values? Am I living authentically? These moments of introspection can be uncomfortable, but they are essential for personal growth. In the quietude of isolation, we have the opportunity to confront our past, analyze our experiences, and understand how they have shaped us. This deeper understanding fosters self-acceptance, enabling us to embrace both our strengths and our weaknesses. Through isolation, we can also cultivate a sense of mindfulness. When we're alone, we can practice being present in the moment, savoring our thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness allows us to appreciate the small things we often overlook in our busy lives, the feel of the sun on our skin, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, or the comforting rhythm of our own breath. Engaging in mindfulness practices during isolation can enhance our emotional well-being, helping us manage stress and anxiety. It reminds us that even in solitude, we can find joy and beauty in the world around us. Isolation encourages creativity. Without the constant stimulation of others' ideas and opinions, our minds are free to wander and explore new avenues of thought. Many artists, writers, and thinkers have reported that their most profound ideas emerge during periods of solitude. This creative potential lies within each of us, waiting to be unleashed. When we allow ourselves the space to think freely and imaginatively, we often uncover passions and talents we never knew we had. Isolation can also deepen our spiritual journey. It is often during these times that we seek a connection with something greater than ourselves. For many, this might involve prayer, meditation, or simply contemplation of the universe and our place within it. Engaging in spiritual practices during periods of solitude can provide comfort and clarity, allowing us to explore our beliefs and values without the influence of others. This exploration can lead to a more profound sense of purpose and direction in life. It's important to recognize that isolation does not have to be a permanent state. While it can feel overwhelming, it is often a transient phase that can lead to transformation. The insights gained during these periods of solitude can prepare us for re-entry into the world with a renewed sense of self and purpose. Once we have taken the time to reflect, grow, and explore, we can step back into our relationships and responsibilities with fresh perspectives and a deeper understanding of ourselves. Isolation can be a catalyst for change and growth. By embracing these moments of solitude, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery that enriches our lives and enhances our relationships. It is an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, understand our place in the world, and emerge stronger, more centered, and more resilient. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember that isolation, while often challenging, holds within it the potential for profound personal transformation. Isolation is often seen as a period of loneliness, a time when we feel cut off from the world and the connections that usually define our lives. However, if we shift our perspective, we can view these moments as significant opportunities for spiritual growth and deepening our connection with the divine. When we are isolated, the distractions of daily life fade away, allowing us to focus inward and cultivate a more profound relationship with God. In times of solitude, we may feel a pull toward introspection, urging us to turn our gaze inward and examine our spiritual beliefs and practices. This introspection often leads to a reevaluation of our relationship with God. When the world quiets down, we can begin to hear the whispers of our spirit more clearly. It's a chance to seek divine guidance, to ask questions that may have been drowned out by the noise of everyday life. What is my purpose? What do I truly believe? What role does faith play in my life? In isolation, we find the space to explore these questions and seek answers. Isolation can create a conducive environment for prayer and meditation. These practices are essential for many people looking to connect with God. When we are alone, we can engage in prayer without the distractions that often accompany our daily routines. We can pour out our hearts, express our gratitude, seek forgiveness, or simply sit in silence, listening for divine inspiration. This time spent in prayer can deepen our faith, strengthen our resolve, and clarify our understanding of God's will for our lives. Meditation, too, can flourish in moments of isolation. It allows us to quiet the mind and focus on the present moment, creating a direct pathway to spiritual connection. During meditation, we can reflect on Scripture, visualize our intentions, or simply be present with God. This practice can bring a sense of peace and clarity, enabling us to tap into a deeper understanding of our spirituality. Isolation can also act as a time for spiritual detoxification. Just as our bodies sometimes need to cleanse from unhealthy foods, our spirits can benefit from a break from the constant barrage of information and stimuli in the world. In isolation, we can distance ourselves from negative influences that may cloud our judgment or weaken our faith. This detoxification allows us to reconnect with our core beliefs and values, enabling us to build a more authentic relationship with God. During these periods of solitude, we often experience an awakening of intuition. With fewer distractions, we become more attuned to our inner voice, which many believe is a channel for divine communication. This heightened intuition can guide us toward decisions that align with our spiritual path and can illuminate the next steps we should take. When we listen closely during our times of isolation, we can often receive insights and revelations that may have remained hidden amidst the noise of our busy lives. Isolation can also be a time of surrender. In our solitude, we may confront our struggles, fears, and uncertainties. It is in these moments that we can learn to let go of our need for control and allow God to take the lead. Surrendering to a higher power can be liberating. It frees us from the burdens of worry and anxiety, allowing us to trust that we are being guided in the right direction. This trust is foundational to our spiritual growth, as it encourages us to let go of our limitations and open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that God presents. These periods of isolation can serve as a reminder of our interconnectedness with the divine. While we may feel physically separated from others, we are never truly alone. Our relationship with God transcends physical boundaries. In solitude, we can experience the profound truth that we are always in the presence of the divine, even when we feel isolated. This realization can be comforting and empowering, reinforcing the belief that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. In conclusion, isolation can be a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth. It offers us the space and opportunity to deepen our relationship with God, engage in meaningful practices, and gain insights that can shape our faith. By embracing these moments of solitude, we can cultivate a stronger spiritual foundation that enriches our lives and guides us through the challenges we face. In our isolation, we can discover the beauty and depth of our spiritual journey, ultimately emerging with a more profound connection to the divine. During moments of isolation, it can be easy to feel as if we are stuck, wandering aimlessly through a challenging landscape of loneliness and despair. Yet, if we can shift our perspective, we may find that these periods serve a greater purpose, a time of preparation for future opportunities and challenges. Understanding that God often uses isolation as a preparatory phase can empower us to embrace these moments rather than resist them. When we think of preparation, we often visualize athletes training for a big event or students studying for an important exam. In these cases, preparation involves hard work, dedication, and a willingness to endure challenges for the sake of future rewards. Similarly, God uses our times of isolation to equip us for the future. When we find ourselves in a place of solitude, it is often a chance for reflection, learning, and growth that will serve us well when we re-enter the world. One significant aspect of this preparation is the development of resilience. In isolation, we face our fears and vulnerabilities head-on. The challenges we encounter during these solitary times can fortify our spirit and instill in us a sense of inner strength. Just as a seed must push through the soil to reach the light, we too must endure periods of discomfort to grow and evolve. The resilience we build in isolation can empower us to face life's challenges with courage and determination when we emerge into the world once more. Isolation provides an opportunity for skill building. Whether it's honing a craft, pursuing a new hobby, or engaging in self-education, these solitary moments allow us to focus on personal development. Perhaps you've always wanted to learn a new language, write a book, or delve into a subject that intrigues you. Isolation creates the perfect environment to dedicate time and energy to these pursuits. By investing in ourselves during these periods, we are preparing for the opportunities that await us on the other side. The skills and knowledge we acquire can open doors, create new possibilities, and enhance our ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around us. Isolation can lead us to reevaluate our priorities and goals. When we step away from the noise of our everyday lives, we gain clarity about what truly matters to us. It's an opportunity to reflect on our values, dreams, and aspirations. Perhaps we find that our previous goals no longer resonate with who we are becoming. By taking the time to reassess our path during isolation, we can realign ourselves with our true purpose and set more meaningful intentions for our future. This clarity can lead to more focused and effective actions when we are ready to re-engage with the world. In addition to personal growth, isolation can help us cultivate a deeper understanding of our relationships. During times of solitude, we may gain insights into how we interact with others, which relationships uplift us, and which ones drain our energy. This clarity is crucial for establishing healthy boundaries and nurturing the connections that truly matter. By recognizing the dynamics of our relationships, we prepare ourselves for more fulfilling interactions in the future. This understanding enables us to approach our connections with intention and authenticity. Isolation can also serve as a crucible for spiritual growth, strengthening our faith and deepening our understanding of our beliefs. When we are removed from our regular environments, we may find ourselves grappling with questions about our faith and purpose. These struggles can lead to deeper revelations and a more profound understanding of our spiritual journey. As we navigate these questions in solitude, we can emerge with a stronger foundation in our beliefs, better equipped to face the challenges and opportunities that life presents. It's essential to recognize that isolation is often a transformative phase. Just as a caterpillar undergoes a metamorphosis in a cocoon, we too can undergo significant changes during our periods of solitude. This transformation can be uncomfortable, but it is essential for our growth. When we embrace the process of change, we prepare ourselves to step into a new and more authentic version of ourselves when we re-enter the world. Let us remember that God often has a plan for our lives, and isolation can be a vital part of that plan. While we may not always understand why we are in a particular season of solitude, we can trust that it is serving a greater purpose. Embracing this perspective allows us to approach our isolation with hope and anticipation rather than despair. When we recognize that we are being prepared for what lies ahead, we can face these moments with a sense of purpose and readiness. In conclusion, isolation should not be viewed as a punishment or a period of stagnation. Instead, it is a time of preparation, resilience, personal growth, and spiritual deepening. By embracing our isolation, we can equip ourselves for the future, building the skills and strength necessary to navigate the challenges that await us. Let us take these moments seriously, knowing that they can lead us to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. Isolation often brings about feelings of loneliness and despair, but within that solitude lies the powerful opportunity to cultivate resilience and self-sufficiency. In a world that constantly pushes us to connect and rely on others, moments of isolation can serve as a vital reminder that our greatest strength often comes from within. This journey into self-reliance is not just about survival, it is about thriving and learning to navigate the complexities of life with confidence and grace. To begin with, resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. It is a vital trait that enables us to face adversity with courage and determination. When we find ourselves in periods of isolation, we are often confronted with challenges that force us to dig deep and discover our inner strength. These moments test our limits and push us to develop coping mechanisms that will serve us well throughout our lives. By facing our struggles alone, we learn that we can rely on ourselves to find solutions, overcome obstacles, and emerge stronger on the other side. During times of solitude, we are often presented with difficulties that compel us to step out of our comfort zones. This discomfort can lead to personal growth and the development of new skills. For example, when we are isolated, we may find ourselves grappling with feelings of anxiety or sadness. Instead of relying on external distractions or validation, we are encouraged to confront these emotions head-on. By learning to manage our feelings independently, we cultivate emotional resilience. We learn that it is okay to feel uncomfortable, and we develop strategies to cope with those feelings in a healthy way. This process not only strengthens our emotional fortitude, but also helps us to build a toolkit of coping strategies that we can draw upon in the future. Isolation can foster self-sufficiency in practical terms. When we are alone, we often must rely on ourselves to meet our needs. This might involve cooking for ourselves, managing our finances, or finding creative solutions to everyday problems. These skills, developed in the crucible of solitude, enhance our ability to navigate the world independently. As we become more self-sufficient, we gain a sense of empowerment that bolsters our confidence in our ability to tackle life's challenges. The more we learn to rely on ourselves, the less we feel dependent on others for validation or support.